So, hey, Mike, can I get a mulligan? My 3 treasure roll.
I'll give you a mulligan. You can re-roll the 3 of them, but you have to keep those 3. And one of them was a nat 20, of course. I'm going to say the 9 is another box of 100 treasure. The 15, a second bag of holding. Although, to be fair, you haven't checked and seen what's inside that bag of holding.
Sure. Let me take a look.
So you turn the bag of holding upside down and you begin shaking it. Out of the bag of holding, what looks like comes another set of dragon armor. However, the dragon armor isn't metal. It looks like it's made out of purple crystal.
Amethyst?
Yep, you can put that on your dragons. That's taken care of. But the 20, what you find is it looks like a dagger. However, it's black, and the blade itself is black.
Obsidian, probably?
If you want to roll intelligence to discern that, it looks more like metal than it does crystal.
I rolled a 11 for intelligence.
You can discern that it's a dagger, and you can discern that it definitely looks a lot different than a normal dagger. You're not really sure exactly what it's doing, but here's the thing. Once you pick it up and you hold it in your hand, you kind of just, you swing it around a little bit. But as you push it forward, you see that the blade shoots out about an extra 10 feet for every time you try and stab with it. So every time you do a thrusting motion forward, the blade magically extends 10 feet. Then when you pull your arm back, the blade retracts normally. So it extends your ability to stab. Now, Velnos, you are going to test your staff on the undead bumper that Arch has created around the front of this thing, I assume. So you walk outside, you form the spear in your hand armor, and you poke the undead bumper. So as you poke it, the green energy from the tip of the spear hits the undead, and it immediately turns all of them to dust.
Fucking ow!
If you want to roll intelligence to discern what just happened, you can. 18's enough.
Finish.
I was gonna say, Mike, can I just cast Identify and you tell me what they are?
I can, yes, although he also rolled high enough to identify what it is.
Well, his thing, because I don't want to tell Cham what he's got.
So I'll do Velnos' first because he rolled high enough to identify his own weapon. So Velnos, what you're able to discern is it's a magical elven spear, but it appears to be enchanted with some sort of a spell that allows it to destroy corrupted beings, including undead. So all you need to do is basically poke something that is undead, and it will turn to dust. And apparently, if it is linked with other undead things, like what Arch did with the bumper, it will also turn those to dust, as long as they are linked with it.
Interesting information.
Other than that, the spear also has some very good stats that go along with it. It is 4d8 plus 8 damage. Now, Arch, you are immediately able to tell what that is, and you immediately want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a hot pass on that, Chief.
And then, as far as Cham's thing goes, you look at it, and it appears to be a specialty dagger. It's the metal that it's made out of is a special kind of dragon steel, and that's the reason why it's black, because a lot of the dragonborn weapons are also black, so you're able to tell what it's made of, which means it's stronger than normal steel, and it's also easier to put magical spells onto it. It's not as difficult. You don't have to carve as many runes and stuff into it. It's much easier to craft than regular steel in terms of a magical weapon. And the other thing is that the enchantment that's on it is elongate, or basically elongate blade. And it's structured so that the blade will only elongate when the user wants to stab something with it. It basically acts like a telescopic blade.
Okay. So she kind of like looks into it. And she's like, alright, listen here, Frog. This thing is like your penis. It's usually small, but unlike your penis, it can grow.
I was gonna look at her like, I got an above average human penis. What the fuck are you talking about?
Is there any, crafting materials in this particular thing?
What type of crafting materials are you looking for?
So, when we get back to the post, I want to try and make a couple, artifacts.
All right, so you wanted to look for materials in order to build trinkets. So what type of things are you building, though? That's the only question I have based on the materials you'd want.
One of the things I want to do is I want to make a bag of holding.
And if she's doing that, I'm just going to look at her and I'm just going to reach out for the other bag holding.
You give her the bag. Again, that bag is empty because the only thing you found in it was the crystalline armor.
Oh, thank you, darling.
So you now have a bag of holding.
And the other thing is to start crafting, rings and stuff that I can fully enchant with certain spells.
Well, as far as the treasure chests goes, like the ones that had jewels and stuff in it, there is a lot of jewelry, so there are rings and necklaces and stuff in there that you could use and enchant, so there's plenty of supply of that stuff. It's just, enchanting the magic and getting the right stuff into the crystals, which I'm sure Scrappy could help you with as well.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. So I am gonna, fish in there and take, just a string of rings that I can work on.
Okay, it's not difficult for you to sift through it, so I'm going to say, what do you want, about 10 rings?
Yeah.
You pick about 10 of them out of there. They have different stones and stuff in them, so you can experiment around with that if you want, but there is enough there.
Alrighty.
So what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna look at it and I'm like, I got an idea. I got a shit ton of things I need to sell. A lot of gems. We could go to a big city, sell the gems, get the money, and commit robbery.
You had me at the first part.
Alrighty then.
So, what's the closest settlement that would have enough money for us to do something?
I'd rather not go to a closest one. Just go a little further out. Probably, near the Black Dragons.
Most of the area around you is fairly desolate because you made camp in kind of a place where not a lot of shit was. So you already went to Broken Spear, you already went to Spyglass Point. Sandhorn is a massive ship port. That's located basically almost exactly due east from you. It'll take you probably about a week to get there on traditional transport.
I'm gonna relay to her about the fucking areas.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, which one do you want to go? You can always take 2 weeks off and hit both spots.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Let's go.
I can always teleport home.
You also have the ability to teleport much closer to Sandhorn than what you are because it is due east of Broken Spear, and you've already been there.
I'm gonna talk to Simon like, we can leave, have them have their way with the car, see how they like it and all that, which we're gonna keep. By the way, leave the dragons, we teleport, you summon steeds.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Sandhorn is only going to be a 2-day ride from Broken Spear based on the proximity, so it is definitely going to cut a lot of time off of your journey to teleport there and then ride.
I will say, on the way, if we happen to find anything, could you please unalive as many people as possible? That fucking idiot elf killed off my only 5 that I had at the time, and I'm about to fill this bag with as much flesh as I possibly can.
So you guys are going to teleport to Broken Spear, and then you're going to ride to Sandhorn. Like I said, 2 days. I'm not going to make you roll for it.
On the couple-day journey, I want to start, fiddling with those, at least one of the rings while I'm going.
You can fiddle around with that during the trip, because the horse is going to ride itself anyway, basically. So what do you want to do with it specifically? You just want to mess around with it and see what you can do, or...?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see, what the circumstances are that I can apply spells to them and which spells I can do,
There's a number of different things you could do depending on how you want the ring to work.
The first one I want to do just a regular a stat bonus, like the Owl's Wisdom and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, that would be fine. However, you're going to need a good amount of magical energy for a constant effect. It's going to take less magic for you to craft something that is a usage type thing versus something that it would be permanent.
Okay. The spell that she took is literally Soulbind. Traps newly dead souls to prevent resurrection, and it also traps them in a thing. And she's 100% been binding them into whatever she has.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. What I'm going to say is, if you want to do a charge effect, it's going to cost 10 souls. If you want to do a permanent effect, it's going to cost 20. If you happen to kill anything that is extremely powerful, it will be worth more than just, general foot soldiers.
I'm going to lean over to the frog as we arrive at this town and how important do you think this town is overall?
I'm gonna look at her and I'm like, we should probably not kill them. We should probably leave this alone. But if we find some scaly motherfuckers...
They are there in spades.
So what we could probably do is pick them off one by one. Pick off as many as we need. Well, you need, because I don't need them. Which I am willing to do.
To describe Sandhorn to you, as you guys ride up on the outskirts of the town, basically what you see is, I shouldn't say town, it's more of an industrial center, because there is a massive amount of metalworks there. There's a lot of forges. You see that the entire harbor is built around with massive cannons, and there are a shit ton of dragonborn ships that are in dock there. This is one of their main ports for the southern part of the continent, but it's also one of the biggest cities that has one of the biggest market districts that's left because they haven't totally destroyed it.
All right. We just lure some into alleyways.
Sounds fine to me. I mean,
So-
you're the stabby stab. This is your best.
You goddamn right. But first, I want to look for like a place to appraise gems and shit.
Okay, there are gates that are leading into the city. The gates are guarded, it appears.
We should probably ride our fucking dead horses. We should probably be walking in.
Well, it wouldn't look dead if that idiot hadn't gotten rid of all my bodies. I would have put the flesh on it, you know?
Alright, so let's dismount and start walking towards the gate.
Yeah, she like slides off. She always rides side saddle. She like snaps
Okay.
her fingers and the horses just poof.
Are you going to do anything to disguise yourself, Arch?
I mean, do they know who I am?
Well, you are technically escaped prisoners, but you don't know.
I don't really have a spell for that. I'm not really meant to hide from things.
Well, it's up to you then. You can walk up as is if you want. You're just taking the chance.
No, I'll take a disguise check. Oh my god, I just like take some mud and leaves and rub it on my face.
Yeah, basically that's what you do. You basically kind of like, you find like a muddy puddle that's nearby and you just kind of like smear it all over your face, and that's the equivalency of your
I'm just gonna
disguise.
look at him like, yeah, it's an improvement. Let's go.
So you guys walk up to the two guards. They immediately put their two spears together in an X formation to block
Yeah, like
you
the
from walking
cross.
through.
Yeah, the cross.
And one of the guards looks at you. What business do you have in Sandhorn?
We're just passing through. We've been traveling for a while. We're pretty hungry. Looking for a place to stay for the night.
Go stay somewhere else.
I also have quite a bit of things to sell.
Maybe you have some things to give as well.
I do, in matter of fact. I'm gonna pull out 2 rubies. Would you gentlemen like one each?
Even though he's kind of hinting at it, I am still going to roll for both of them. Yeah, so they both rolled high enough, so they're going to take that as a bribe. So yeah, you give each of them a ruby, and they pull their spears apart and let you walk through.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Even though it is odd that Arch is just like has mud smeared all over his face, just like, you know what, we don't give a shit. Just go.
I'm gonna lean into like, don't mind her. She's kind of not there. She thinks that mud is makeup.
Isn't it makeup?
No, it's just mud. She just smeared it all over herself, thinking like she wanted to look pretty.
Dragonborn women use mud for mating rituals. She is very attractive.
Maybe we might see you later.
Saira gives him the finger guns.
You do that, they let you through, so you're inside the city now.
Does that count as a seduction check?
Do you want to roll for one?
Do it, yes.
I mean, anytime I can get a corpse.
It's a straight charisma check.
All right.
And he will have to roll his intelligence against that since you're just going to plan on murdering him anyway.
Frog, what are you comfortable with? You want to watch?
Whatever you do is none of my business.
All right,
So far,
he's going to roll against that, and he's going to roll his intelligence check. And his intelligence check, he basically it's a straight D20. He doesn't get any additions to it. Oh, that was so close to rolling an 18. All right, he rolled a 4. He's stupid enough to go do that. Do you want me to roll for the other one as well?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, they're both stupid. So both of them are interested in taking you up on your sexual advances.
I'm gonna lean in like,
All
meet us
right.
at the tavern at the midnight.
Gonna
Behind
give me
the
a
tavern.
scaly Eiffel Tower is what I'm gonna get.
That works for us. Right, Timmy?
Hell
yes!
Oh, I like him. Let's keep him.
So they're gonna meet us at that time. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna look for an armory real quick.
Roll a search check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a search check because I got some weapons I gotta sell.
You find a very sizable armory. It's kind of like a warehouse almost, and it's just filled from top to bottom with swords and armor and everything under the sun that you could possibly craft.
Ooh. I'm gonna go in like, this is nice, Saira. What do you think?
I mean, looks aren't everything, apparently.
So alright, I'm gonna go up like, how you doing, sir?
All right, you walk up to the shopkeeper, and he's one of the main blacksmiths. He's behind the counter. He's on the anvil. He's hammering something out. Looks kind of like a sword. And he comes up to the counter. Dwarf, as usual. Aye, laddie. What do you need?
How you doing, my friend? I got some things to sell, and I might be looking to purchase something.
Well, let's see what you got to sell first, and then we'll decide what I can give you.
All right, will do. I'm gonna pull out my bag of holding. I'm like the 5 green daggers. I'm gonna bring out the ornate dagger. I'm gonna bring out the elven
Okay.
dagger of blood frost, the 3 dwarven daggers, and the shurikens.
So the shurikens are 5 gold a whack. How many do you have of those? It'll be a total of 45 gold. for those. The dwarven daggers
The 3 dwarven daggers, yep.
are higher quality. I'm going to say each one of those is 20 gold apiece, so that's going to be 60.
Yep, the elven dagger of Bloodfrost.
That's going to be 200 gold. The ornate dagger is going to be another 100 gold because it's mostly decorative, but the materials are worth a good amount.
And I got the 5 green daggers. The ones from the leprechauns?
So he looks at those and he takes it in his hand and he examines it. I'm going to roll an examination roll to see what he finds with those because they're very unique. All right, and he has a fairly high addition to that too with a +5. So he looks at them and he looks at one of them and he puts them down. And he lines them up on the table and says, I haven't seen something like this since the old elves used to be around, and not a lot of their artifacts are left, just like the blood dagger there. But these are made out of special material. I'm not even sure what they're made out of. Look, I'll give you 150 gold a whack for each of them.
Sounds like a deal.
There's 4 of them, so that means that's going to give you a total of 600 gold. And that's all your daggers, correct?
That is all the daggers, yep.
Okay, so the total gold amount for that you can add up. So what would you like to buy?
Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna look outside. Like, what would you like? Are you interested in anything, sister?
It's very weird when you call me sister, because I've seen you fuck a couple times. I'll be honest, I really only have been punching things in our last few. I figure something to hit things with. Not that it's usually my style, but it might be a little bit better than just flappity whacketing things with this gauntlet. And she kind of wiggles her hand around.
Well, here's the thing. It depends on what you want. Do you want something long to hit things with? Do you want something blunt? Do you want something sharp? Do you want something blunt and sharp?
Well, I've got this shield here, and this glove, and whatever I can fit in this glove.
I'm gonna give you something that you might like very much, and we'll see if it has something to do with you. It's something a bit more custom than what you're accustomed to. So he's going to take the shield from you, and he asks if he can also borrow the gauntlet. He's not going to alter the gauntlet in any way from what it is. He's just going to add to it.
She's real, like, okay. She very gingerly takes it off.
He makes sure to very daintily take the gauntlet and ensure you that it is in good hands. Now, what he does is he goes back to his little area and he goes behind the counter and kind of starts working away at something. He also takes the shield that you have. He modifies the shield a little bit. He makes it a little bit flatter, and he also attaches a chain to it. What he's done is he's modified the gauntlet in a sense so that it's kind of combined almost with like a crossbow mechanism. So you can fire the shield on the chain out of the gauntlet and presumably also pull it back similar to a grappling hook. It has a launch mechanism on it, but it also kind of has a crank. He basically turned it into a mechanical thing, but because he flattened out and sharpened the edge of the shield, it's basically like shooting a circular saw blade. He then hands it back to you and says, I think based on what that gauntlet does, which, by the way, I know how magic works, that is a awesome little piece of gear you got there. With that, and combined with decapitation power, you are going to have so much fun.
I do believe so.
And that work is going to cost you, since it was really mostly just a chain and working a shield, I'm going to say 50 gold.
I'm going to give him 100.
You do that. He thanks you very, very much for the tip.
While I'm at you, I'm going to pull out my pipe. I'm going to bring out some green dragon. Would you like a hit at this?
Damn straight, son.
All right, I light it up.
You puff and give. Arch, by the way, that shield does 3d6 plus 5 damage.
I rolled a 15
right.
for my constitution.
You're conscious, but you're fucked up.
How long is the chain?
The chain itself, I'm going to say, goes about 20 feet. He rolled a 20, so he's high as well, but he's also functionally high, so he's doing all right. So you guys share your green dragon a little bit, and he says, thank you very much for your business, and he takes the things that you sold and makes sure that you're happy with your...
Sorry to bother you. One more thing.
What do you have, lad?
I'm going to pull out the 10 pounds of dragon steel ore.
Oh, you got some dragon steel ore there. What do you want? Do you want ingots?
What can I do with this?
Well, you can make it into weapons, you can make it into armor, you can make it into pretty much anything you want as long as it's metal. Although I wouldn't advise making it into a teacup. I feel like that's just a waste of time.
That is tempting with a teacup. How about this? I'll take 1 pound for you to make the teacup, and I'll sell you the 9 pounds of ore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm up for that as well. I'll add that to whatever you sold me before. So So 9 pounds of dragon steel ore. That's going to come out to about 100 gold.
100
As
gold
for
is
making the
gold.
teacup, that's going to be about 5 gold, so you'll get 95 gold back.
Take the 95.
Okay, fair enough. So he'll take all that, and he makes the little. He goes back and he smelts it down. Takes him probably about 20 minutes, and then he comes back to you with a very ornate-looking little dragon steel teacup.
And I'm gonna give it to Saira. Here you go, darling.
Oh, look at you.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Have a nice day, lad.
My name is James, and this is my sister.
Oh, was that a cue for me? I'm sorry, I'm not good at this. Tiffany.
Are you trying to make him believe this, or are you just doing it to be awkward?
She's doing it to be awkward.
Well, Cham, are you doing it to try and convince him?
Oh, that Arch is my sister? Oh, fuck it, yeah.
Roll bluff. I will have to roll for him as well. He is very stupid.
Oh,
He believes
I didn't
you.
think I was gonna win that one.
So, yeah, he believes that your siblings, somehow, some way, some horribleness happened.
Different mother.
I would presume so, yes, although I'd be also curious how you got a frog out of that relationship.
All right, buddy. We'll be off.
Good luck, laddie. All right, so where do you want to go to now?
Well, I got a fuck ton of gems and shit.
There are jewelers, and they're not that far away, to be honest, because you're in the market district, so I wasn't going to make you roll a search check, but you do find a jeweler.
I want to find the best looking one. The one I could probably, with the help of Saira, scam for the most gold.
Arch, do you want to help him?
Yeah, she's gonna gently touch a finger to his forehead and cast Eagle Splendor, which is +4 to his charisma. And she's like, "Go get him, champ."
Let's go.
So you find a jeweler that looks like it's probably the best one around. It's got the biggest store. There's a bunch of really ornate stuff that's in the window. So you walk in and you see a guy behind the counter. He has a jeweler's glass in his eye. He looks like he's examining some kind of a purple gem, maybe an amethyst, or it could be something that's back there that looks like it's purple. And as you walk in, he looks over to you and takes out his jeweler's glass. Well, how can I help you, kids?
How you doing, sir? I got quite a bit of things I'd need to appraise and possibly sell.
Well, give them here. I'll take a look at them.
All right, I'm gonna put down the necklace with the red gem.
He identifies it as a ruby, and he says that's 5,000 gold.
I'm like, all right, would he be willing to buy this?
Yeah, why not? I can always use more jewelry. Those stupid
Alright.
Dragonborn will buy anything you say put in front of them as long as it's shiny.
Oh, that sounds lovely. And I hand him the necklace.
All right, he gives you 5,000 gold for the necklace. What's next?
5 gems, but they're 5k apiece, so they were already
That would be
appraised,
25,000 gold.
So that'd be 25,000.
So if that's the case, then yes. And so you can put those in front of him, and he will give you 25,000 in exchange for that.
2 rubies, 3 diamonds, and an emerald.
The 2 rubies are 5,000 apiece. The emerald is 1,000. So you said diamonds as well.
I got 3 diamonds. Yep.
So I'm going to roll for the quality of the diamonds. I don't remember if I did that before. That's going to determine how much they're worth. Okay, mid-quality. So I'm going to say each one of those diamonds is worth 2,500 apiece. So that total, that's 7,500. And then what else do you have?
And I'm like, you want to see something awesome? I'm going to pull
Hell
out
yeah.
the giant chest full of fucking gems.
Okay, as you open the chest, his eyes widen as the light glistens off of all the jewels in the chest, and he just looks at you. He looks at you and then looks back at the chest for a second and then looks back at you. He's like, I don't even want to know where you got this from and see what the hell you're looking at. I'm going to say the chest is full of one type of gem, and I'm going to roll a d20 to see what level those gems are. So the higher the roll, the more expensive the gems are a piece. And since it's a whole chest full of them, I'm going to say it's 50 gems. Ooh, okay, that's a 3. All right, so let's go with the gem hierarchy here. All right, so here's what I'm going to say is what you have there. The entire chest is full of emeralds. So that's 50 emeralds. So that's 50,000 gold for the chest. I'm going to say that's how much that is. So he was willing to pay you that as well.
Is there a way you could bump it up to 100,000?
Roll persuasion.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Yeah, it would be a diplomacy check. Oh, okay. He's not going to be able to beat that, so I'm just going to say automatically. So he's willing to double it. He's willing to pay you the 100,000 because you rolled so high. So he gives you 100,000 gold. Do you have anything else you would like to sell him?
No. I'm going to look at her. I'm going to look at Sarah like, you got anything?
I don't generally keep things, son.
That would be it, sir.
A strange question, though. Are you able to purchase slaves in this city?
No, the Dragonborn just sort of take people and turn them into slaves. So it's not really a buy or sell thing here.
All right.
Also, the kingdom to the north abolished slavery about 8 centuries ago.
Spoil sports.
You
course,
could
that's
make
fine.
random things into slaves, I guess, or you could enslave people, but I wouldn't do it in a populated area.
Oh yes, I'm very well aware. Don't worry. Nothing sinister. Don't worry.
You know what? In this business, I stopped asking questions a long time ago, like when a little frog man comes in with a chest full of fucking emeralds and puts it down in front of me.
That's probably for the best.
Yes, you don't want to know what kind of sexual acts he had to perform for those gems. She's gonna lean in. He filleted a dragon.
You know what? I've actually heard worse than that.
And I'll pop the baby dragon. I have to give birth 5 months after.
From his mouth, no less. It was disgusting.
I didn't know dragons did that. I feel dirty every time you talk.
As you should.
And I shall leave. You have a good day, sir.
You too. And he immediately grabs the chest full of emeralds and also with everything else kind of just, tossed on top of it and proceeds to drag it around the counter, still salivating. So you've taken care of all the gems and sold it off for a fuck ton of gold. And in addition to also selling off the various weapons you didn't need and giving Arch a decapitation machine on his wrist.